What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Halos. I'm your host today, Jared Timms, and I am joined alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Nate Green. Nate, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We skipped all the holidays. It's almost baseball season, right?
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Good to be back. We're getting closer to Angel Baseball.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk a little 2023 Angels baseball today. I don't think we're giving predictions quite yet, but I'll say this. The rest of the division has made a lot of moves. I think you know which direction I'm going in here because I didn't tell you what we're talking about beforehand, like I like to do all the time. The rest of the division has made quite a bit of moves. Good acquisitions, interesting acquisitions. So my question, and before you answer it, I'm going to go through the whole thing. My question for you is, where are you ranking the Angels right now in the AL West? And before we get there, hang tight with us. As always, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching this podcast here at Talking Halos. Go ahead and follow us on all of our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Guys, as always, I got to say it, we're looking for writers, consistently looking for writers. Come write for us. Get your name out there. If you're looking to be an aspiring journalism major, I don't know, just come write for us. Really a lot of fun. Can't give you guys a lot, but promise you'll get your name out there. Have a lot of fun with it. Write a little Angels baseball, looking for some minor league reporters as well, maybe cover some games with us. Have a lot of fun with that. So shoot us a message on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook if you do want to write for us. More than happy to get you guys aboard. With that being said, subscribe wherever you guys are listening and watching. YouTube, pound that subscribe button, hit the like if you can as well, and let us also know where you rank the Angels in the AL West right now. I'm very interested to know where you guys think. So hop onto YouTube, leave us a comment on where you think the Angels rank right now in the AL West. So Nate, I will ask you this now, and I came into this saying I hope you're not going to piss off too many people, but Nate Green, where are you ranking the Angels right now with all the moves that the defending World Series champions? Almost forgot about that. It's been so long ago. I'm just missing baseball. The now best, can I say it? I'll say the highest upside rotation in baseball in Texas Rangers. Nice 1-2 punch there. And then a team coming off 90 plus wins, first postseason appearance in 20 plus years. Didn't do anything in the postseason. We'll let Mariners fans sit in salt in that. But very good team there as well. So made some good offseason acquisitions. And then you have the Oakland A's, who we will always say it. You never know what the Oakland A's are going to do. They're not going to be great, but you just never know. So Nate, where are they ranking? I hyped this up a lot for you.
Yeah, you did. And you love trying to get me in trouble, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is tough.
Just say it.
Fourth. They're the fourth best team in the AL West.
Okay, now I want to hear your rankings. Give me your rankings. Who's number one right now? You got to go Houston, right?
Houston's number one, yes.
Even after losing Verlander,
they have to be, yeah. Like the depth they have in their rotation is unbelievable. It's very, very good. It's fantastic.
The way they've developed.
The offense is stupid. They're bringing back Brantley, who was injured for a little bit. They're going to bring in Jose Abreu, who I think he got a little too much money, but he's going to drive in runs in the middle of that lineup too. Like that lineup is just going to be a scary 1 through 8, and then they're going to hit 9th with Martin Maldonado, and it's going to be like, well, he might hurt you every now and then, but like that lineup is going to be very complete. It's going to be a tough lineup 1 through 9. Even Maldonado gives very professional ABs. He's not going to go up there and be like Andrew Velasquez was last year. So,
come on, be better than that.
I had to. Go on. Number 2, Texas Rangers. I really like what they've done this offseason. Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi. Sure, yeah, Andrew Heaney, sure. If that's what you want to go with.
Yeah, Andrew Heaney.
It really just builds off the offseason they had last year, going with Seager and Semien. They got Lowe coming off a breakout season. Garcia's been getting better each and every year. They got some young kids that are going to be interesting as well. And I just like the overall depth with that rotation as well. Like I think the key to this is like real starting pitching depth. That's kind of where I'm at in ranking these teams. Like the Rangers and Astros have 8 legitimate starting pitchers that have had big league experience that could go out there and give 6-7 innings and are going to be competent, and you know what you're getting out of them for the most part. Like I'm not going to say you know exactly what you're getting out of Jake Odorizzi, but like you know he's going to go out there and compete and give you a
3.7, a 3.7
Yeah,
ERA through the season, get you 10 wins, whatever you want.
He'll give you a decent outing. Dane Dunning, who was outstanding for them last year, you know, like you could go up and down, and then you're about 8 guys deep in their rotation, and then you start to get to their minor leagues, and there's a lot of fun guys in there. Kumar Rocker's very close. I think, you know, some people will say he's not as close as I do, but I think he's pretty close. Cole Winn is right there as well.
Jack Leiter.
You have Leiter, who's further than Rocker in my opinion, but you know, that's just me. But yeah, you're looking at like 12 pitchers deep with that offense in Texas. Like they're going to be able to pitch, and they're going to be able to score some runs. Seager's a very good shortstop. Simeon's was able to hit as the season went along, and the offense looks like it's going to be pretty good. So they're the number 2 team for me. Number 3 is the no, Seattle Mariners. Just I had to do that for you.
Wow. Well,
Seattle,
wait, before we get to Seattle, first thing, we'll bring up a couple points here because I like to do this. One, you bring up depth. The Angels have added depth. Why are they not? Why aren't you putting? I mean, they have 2 of the best players, 3 of the best players in baseball when healthy.
Two of the best players for sure, because we haven't seen Rendon be Rendon in a while.
That's fair. Depth, they've added depth. Perry and squad have
Sure.
added depth this offseason. So I think that needs to be accounted for as well. We're an Angels podcast here, so I'm going to fight for the Angels and think that they need
Of course.
Good spot for you. The pitching depth isn't that bad. I think the bullpen can use a little bit of work for sure. You know, but I agree. And the 2 big things.
I like the starting pitching depth. Like, don't get me wrong, but you just have so many question marks with the starting pitching. So you go through it, and it's like, yeah, Silseth has major league experience, but he wasn't really successful. Like, he had a couple starts where it's like, oh, he's great, but it wasn't like, oh man, this dude's a for sure, like, he's going to go out there 5 innings, 1 run or 2 runs, and you just know. Jose Suarez, you know how I feel about Jose Suarez. He's a roller coaster. You just ride him, and you know, you ride his highs, you ride his lows, and hopefully he has more highs than lows. And then you get into they haven't pitched yet. You know, you get into the Sam Bachman, the Kai Bush, the Mason Erla type of guys, where it's like they haven't pitched in the bigs. Like, yes, that's very good quality depth, but like the difference between the depth that the Texas Rangers are running out there and the Angels are running out there,
Kumar hasn't pitched. Kumar hasn't pitched in the majors.
I named them 10th.
That's
I didn't
fine.
name them 6th and 7th and 8th.
Well, no, those guys aren't 6th, 7th, and 8th. I give you that. They're not 6th.
Silseth is 6th right now.
Yeah, Silseth's probably your 5 guy, and he's got a little bit of
5 or 6. Jose Suarez is 6th, 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So those 2 guys are 5th and 6th. That's not what the Rangers are running out there. That's not what the Astros are running out there. The Astros are running out there 4 guys who just pitched in the postseason that were all ridiculous in the postseason. Yes, they lost Justin Verlander. You're looking at guys who are getting Cy Young votes on that roster. You're looking at guys that have just Lance McCullers has been one of the best postseason pitchers in the last 5 years, you could say. He's just ridiculous what he's been able to do. And so I don't know. I just really like that they have a lot of experience depth. So I'm not
expand on it. Come on.
I'm not saying that the Angels can't be good. I'm just saying with what they have right now, there's a lack of experience in the starting rotation, and we haven't seen the Angels have developed one starting pitcher really. And I'll give them 2, Sandoval and Detmers. I wouldn't say Suarez is 100% developed.
Shohei Ohtani, give me that. Come on, they've added new pitches there. He looks good. I know that stuff is going to play anywhere, but
I mean, like, I'm saying developed from the minor leagues. Shohei Ohtani, right when he came over from Japan, was a good pitcher. Like, I know he struggled in spring training, but like, yes, he was a prospect, but he wasn't a prospect. Everyone knew he was pitching in the big leagues, like from day one.
Jose Suarez was developed. His stuff plus went up last year. We all know that. Don't even get. I'm going to fight for Jose Suarez with you now.
You can. You used to fight for Andrew Heaney, and look where that got you.
Still pitching.
He is somewhere. So yeah, I just really think that we need to see this new regime develop starting pitchers. Right now, you have said Chase Silseth could be an elite reliever. He could be a okay starter. He could be a pretty good starter. We don't know. Sam Bachman could be an elite reliever, like Josh Hader type of good reliever. He also could be a good starter. We don't know because we haven't seen this regime really develop. Honestly, like the Detmers thing, you give half the credit to Perry, I guess, but that's not his draft pick. That's
Fair
not
enough.
really.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like we want to see the Angels develop, and that's been the biggest thing with what we've seen Texas develop some guys. Dane Dunning was a guy that they got kind of similar to like the Patrick Sandoval, where it was like wasn't quite developed, but they kind of took him and made him into a quality piece. They don't need to really develop anything with DeGrom, John Gray. Martin Perez was a homegrown guy for them who has turned out to be pretty good for them. So that's my biggest thing with the Angels, with why they're fourth. And then you look at the Mariners at three for me. They've just developed out of their mind with pitching. They've got ridiculous stuff on that pitching staff. You could argue Robbie Ray is their 4 starter, and I'm not even a big Robbie Ray guy. I know you're not either. But Luis Castillo, you got the young kids who have been really good. You got Emerson Hancock, who's pretty close as well. I think Chris Flexen is their 6, and he pitched most of the year in the rotation last year. He's going to be like a swing guy, kind of a Jaime Barria role, where if they need a starter, he can start. So I think Seattle takes a little bit of a step backwards. I don't think that they're a for sure playoff team. I think they're borderline. They're going to be in that same spot where they're fighting to the last, couple games. But I do think Houston and Texas are going to be playoff teams, and I think Seattle's going to be one of those teams where it's like they're going to finish with about 86 wins to 88 wins, and that's either going to get them in or they're just going to miss out. And with how Baltimore plays this year, with how Tampa plays, with how New York, like there's a bunch of really good teams in the American League.
It's gonna be tough for 3 teams. It's gonna be tough for 3 teams in the West to get in.
And
But
the other thing that I want to mention with Seattle, their travel is going to get even worse this year. They already have the worst travel in Major League Baseball, and now they're going to have to travel even more, having to play every single team in the MLB this year. Not every team on the road, but they will have to play every team. So when they do travel to Tampa Bay and play Tampa Bay, possibly Miami, and all these teams, that's a long road trip to have to get up, play a Wednesday game, probably take Thursday off, and then have to get up and go on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's just going to be tough for them to be as good as they've been, because they won't be making as many trips to Oakland and Anaheim and those kind of trips. So I think they take a step back. The Angels 4th for me, just because, like I said, the starting pitching depth, you've got some starting pitching depth, but there's not experience on it. There are some guys that we really like. I think Silseth could be really good. As of right now, he's the 5-6 starter. Mason Erla, I know you've talked about this. We talked about this last week. You said sleeper to make the opening day roster. You have Sam Bachman, you have Kai Bush. So you do have some depth down there, but it's just not a lot of experience depth, and it's going to be guys making their major league debuts, and hopefully you catch lightning in a bottle like Seattle did last year. Seattle was able to do that with a couple of guys over the last couple of years. So they have had that success. If the Angels can have success with that, then yeah, they probably pass Seattle, because hopefully the offense is better and hopefully they stay healthy-ish, But yeah, the other thing that kind of concerns me with the Angels is they've got a lot of guys who are going to play a lot of different positions, and that's going to be really tough for guys that are so, like Gio Urshela is used to playing third base, basically every day. He plays shortstop once or twice, first base, DH once or twice, but plays third base every day. Brandon Drury's used to moving around. Rengifo plays second base every day. Or he played shortstop every day in the minor leagues when he was down there and moved over to second base. So, like, you're going to have guys that it's going to be like, hey, you don't know what position you're playing when you get to the ballpark until you look at the lineup. And that is a little bit of concern for me, because you look at these guys and it's like, what's my routine? Where am I playing? let's make this thing as easy for him as possible. So those are my concerns with the Angels. It's just the pitching. Like I've said it all along. Like, yes, I really wanted a shortstop, but I also want a playoff arm. Like you saw what Houston ran out there. They had so much pitching that they couldn't even use one of their best arms. Like, think about that. They literally were like, can we even pitch Christian Javier, who was one of their best arms in the postseason last year? And they were like, can we use this guy? Because we have so many arms, we don't know.
Yeah.
Luis Garcia pitched in the playoffs as a reliever, and he threw 5 shutout innings, and it was like, man, this guy makes every other postseason roster except for he probably makes every other postseason roster in the MLB. And it's like, this guy doesn't even crack the top 4.
Yeah.
Maybe even the top 5. So that's what I think is the biggest difference between the Angels and the Rangers and Mariners. You look at the Rangers rotation, if they get to the playoffs, DeGrom, Eovaldi, Perez, Gray, Heaney, and I'm not even a Heaney guy, but he's the 6th guy, 5th guy, depending on where you put Odorizzi and Dunning. Like that's a very deep rotation as well. So Angels are close. They're just not quite over the hump is my concern.
I don't disagree with you. I think that is very similar to what I would do. I mean, I've been saying it for years. I'm like, when's Houston gonna start losing an edge? They're gonna be losing, this guy, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to this guy and that guy, and they won a World Series. It's stupid. The Rangers, we've been wondering. They've been drafting. They've been developing. They've had some, good drafts, interesting drafts, and they finally were like, hey, we're gonna go spend money now. They've done it. They've done a good job, I think, of doing it. I agree with you there too. There for me, Miami or not Miami. Wow, the Mariners. You don't know what you're getting there. Still,
No.
I still think that's still a little bit up in the air. I know we said it last year too. They could come out and win the West, and they could come out and be an 83 win team. I'm intrigued to know where they lie. I think the Angels are the same thing. There's so many question marks. They come in. I think there are less question marks this year than there were last year. I know, like heading into this season last year, and those of you guys who listen to this and watch our podcast last year, it was there are 26 question marks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's necessarily 26 question marks like there were.
23.
I think there are less than that. I think like last year we were saying, like, what are you getting out of Ohtani? I think this year, like, you kind of know what you're getting out of Ohtani. Yep. Trout's coming back. He seems to be pretty healthy. I guess that's still a question mark.
He's still a question mark.
That's fine. I'll give you that. And yes, the infield's a question mark, but it's not the question mark that it was last year. First base is a question mark, sure, but you have guys. You have
Rendon's still a question mark.
9 or
yeah, he's the same question mark as he was.
I'm saying up the middle though too. You have 9 or 10 guys that can play up the middle. That's your only question mark is who you got playing there. It's not
at what level can they play at is the biggest question too. Is like, yes, maybe David Fletcher plays up the middle every day. Maybe he plays shortstop every day. Can he put up a 100 WRC plus and be above average defensively?
Your question marks are what are these guys this year though? At the moment, it's not really like it's not how it was last year where it's like, who's playing left field, who's playing right field. Like you have Renfroe, you have Ward. Like you're pretty like solidified in a lot of spots. It's not those question marks that you had last year. Even with the rotation, you bring up like a playoff rotation. Yes, the Angels haven't been in the playoffs, and none of these starters minus Tyler Anderson were in the playoffs. But when you look at these guys matching up, and I know you don't like the matchups, I like the matchups. I think they match up well against most teams. I mean, they're not deep, but you look player for player. The Angels have, and you're going to hate me for this, the Angels have one of the best duos in baseball when it comes to the starting pitching side of stuff. When it comes to Ohtani and Sandoval. Right. I mean, it's a top 10 duo in baseball. Name 9 better duos in baseball.
The Mets for sure. The Yankees for sure. There's 2 right off the top of my head without even really looking.
I give you Houston has one.
Sure.
Well,
and Houston is barely in there.
Give you the Mariners. Houston. You just praised Houston. You can't give.
They have a bunch of depth. I wouldn't say that they're like top 2 duos, but they do have a really good. You would put the Dodgers.
I'll give you not anymore with Houston. I'll give you that. I think the Angels have a better duo than Houston.
the Dodgers have a top 2 duo,
If
top 5 duo. Excuse me, not top 2, top 5.
yes, I agree with that. I mean, anybody who made the playoffs, you're going to have a top duo there.
Well,
I mean,
Philadelphia's got a better
Philadelphia's got
duo.
a top duo. So I mean, what are you giving Miami a top duo as well?
Oh yes, of course. Alcantara and Lopez, of course.
It's close. I'd say that's very similar to Ohtani and Sandoval. Very, very similar to Ohtani and Sandoval. So if you're giving Miami that, then you got to give the Angels that. So I mean, the Angels matchup. I think the Angels match up well when it comes to
And what about 3 and 4 though?
3 and 4. Well, if you're going 3 and 4, Reed Detmers took a big step in the second half last year.
Cleveland's on the list as well. How could we forget Cleveland?
I give it to you. And then Tyler Anderson, who's rounding out at number 4 there. I know you're not big on him, and I'm also not big on him. But I mean, he did just have a career year and was an all-star. So I mean, you can't not, he's going to regress. He's going to be a 3.5 ERA guy. He's going to throw strikes and he's going to give you innings. That's all that matters for me. And I'm going to fight for Jose Suarez like I've done every year with you. I think Jose Suarez is perfectly
That's fine. You continue to fight and you continue to lose.
He's been good the past 2 years.
Look at the Astros.
What was the beginning of last year?
Just look at the Astros and
tell me. I'm not comparing
that
him to the Astros.
Would Jose Suarez pitch on the Astros? If they had a 6-man rotation, would Jose Suarez pitch on the Astros?
No, well, that's different. I mean, we're getting into a development phase here. Jose Suarez is an ace in Houston because they know how to develop.
No.
Yes.
If Jose Suarez is on the Astros right now, is he in the top 6?
No. He's probably number 5 or 6. Name off the rotation.
Framber, he's not better than Framber. No. McCullers, he's not better than McCullers. Luis Garcia, he's not better than Luis Garcia. Christian Javier, he's not better than Christian Javier. Jose Urquidy, he's not better than Jose Urquidy.
No. Number 6.
What about Hunter Brown? He's not better than Hunter Brown.
You know what you're getting out of Suarez.
Do I?
Well, okay. I mean, fine. If you want to take that, then
I'm just gonna say Hunter Brown in 7 starts last year at a .89 ERA.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying.
They're saying he's the next Justin Verlander.
And this is where the Angels, the difference lies for the Angels is pure development. Are those guys all Houston product, by the way?
Yes.
That's impressive.
It is.
That's impressive.
So. But that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Angels 4th. Can they pitch? Like, that's going to be the biggest thing. And I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, they had a top 5 rotation last year when you look at ERA and this and that. And it's like, okay, but you lost Noah Syndergaard. You lost Michael Lorenzen, who were 2 guys who were literally going out there and throwing up basically quality starts every time out. Obviously, they had some bad starts here and there, but they were very consistent for the Angels. And then you have the Shohei Ohtani effect. All right. You talk about this with the offense, how you watch Mike Trout and you say, hey, the Angels had a good offense last year. But then you look at the offense and it's like, it was all Mike Trout. This is pre-Shohei Ohtani, by the way, for everyone listening. But you would look at the Angels offense and you would say, wow, the Angels had a really good offense, maybe one piece away from being like an elite offense. And then you take Mike Trout's numbers out and you go, wow, they were 14th in the AL in offense without Mike Trout. So Shohei Ohtani does the same thing with the pitching staff. He was so good last year, pitching wise, that the pitching numbers looked a lot better. He was able to take out and help with the Chase Silseth outings, with the Jose Suarez outings, because Suarez wasn't that good.
No, but he was a league average pitcher. He was above league average pitcher. I'll give you that. I mean,
below league average pitcher.
The question was the last 2 guys in the rotation. How are you filling that spot? Because the Angels had four decently good guys. They had Ohtani, who was a Cy Young candidate. I think should have been considered a lot higher than that. Patrick Sandoval, one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball. You had the rookie, who I picked for Rookie of the Year, by the way. And if he pitched like that all year, he'd be in contention. I don't think he's winning Rookie of the Year, but
that J-Rod guy was pretty good.
Yeah, there's some other guys there that just were unbelievably stupid rookie-wise. But yes, moral of the story, this is where the Angels lack right now, is development. And we're seeing the Angels take steps. I don't know if it's big steps, but they're taking steps in the right direction. Is that fair to say?
Close.
Agree with me one time.
They're making I don't know. They're getting close to making steps in the right direction.
All
We're-
right, as always, thank you guys so much. I mean, you're killing me here. You're killing me here.
Like we want to see them develop starting pitching. Like
we will get to the like, and we're gonna have a whole podcast about the insanity that the Angels have put fans through, because I am in full agreement with you. Like
how
Yes.
long can we continue to say, "Oh,
don't
this
start
guy's
it.
going
Don't
to be
start it
great.
now.
This
Don't
guy's
sta-
going to be
don't
great."
start it
when
now.
we continue to roll out there guys that are below
Don't-
average.
Nate, I said don't start it now. We will have a podcast. We will have a mediator in Derek and Brock and John to come on
Yeah, we probably
and
need
try
a
to talk some
mediator.
sense into us here. But yeah, we're definitely gonna need a mediator for something like that in the constant insanity that's caused. But as always, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast, listening to us ramble on a little bit about Angels baseball. We hope you enjoy it. If you could pound that subscribe button wherever you're listening, hit the like, let us know, rank your AL West. I really would love to see that. Shoot us a message shoot us DMs, messages, at us at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Absolutely love talking with all you guys. Really, really do. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day.